Welcome to Dance Specific Talks. This podcast is made for us dancers, and our goal here is to inspire dancers from all over the world to become better, both on and off the dance floor. We want to provide you with a platform where we dancers can share and learn from each other. So let me introduce to you your host for this podcast, Teaser, and remember as always, by dancers, for dancers.
What's up, party people, and welcome back to another episode of your favorite dance podcast, Dance Specific Talks, released from the Fit and Sensual. I'm Therese Allen, aka Teaser, and your host as usual. Today we are traveling all the way to Los Angeles in the USA as we're talking with the French popping dancer Mary Poppins. So what do you need to know about Mary Poppins? Well, she started off as a hip-hop dancer, a popping dancer in France, and she used to battle a lot. Later on, she moved to the States and started her commercial career as a background dancer, also dancing for artists like Neo, Busta Rhymes, Justin Bieber, Madonna. She's also been seen in So You Think You Can Dance, America's Best Dance Crew, and much more. She's been working with commercials, in theaters, as a choreographer, and as a dancer herself. And we are going to ask her all about it. But first, you already know what to do. Subscribe to our channel, Dance Specific Talks, where you can find more episodes with amazing dancers from all over the world. Don't forget, this is a podcast specifically made for you who loves dancing, are passionate about learning more, and want to see and hear more stories about real life artists. And now, let's get it going. Welcome to this interview, Mary Poppins. Pop, 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 pop.
Hello.
You are located in LA right now. How is everything going?
Interesting. Well, it's been like right now, a lot of people getting, sick. So it's of course slowed down a lot of things when you want to work with your friend and someone get COVID. So you're like, oh, but it's okay. It's just I was in France before, and I think it's actually even harder in France right now. But we stay positive, and weather is great, and you can still like go to the beach and stuff, so think positive.
Yeah, I loved when I was watching your Instagram. I really want to quote you, and it was like 2021, more love, more hugs, more faith, more creation. And what made you write that on your Instagram? How have your feelings been about coming into 2021?
I think it really calmed me down on like always being like go get it, and thinking that there is also more important values on top of being you know um on top of like focusing so much on like your career, is having people supporting you and you supporting people, and yeah, just more love, more hugs. I mean, more hugs to the people who are close to me, because I realize I'm not a hugger, so I need to learn how to hug more. But COVID time is not really the best time to hug better, but yeah. And more faith, because we all like spiral in our own way, thinking like, okay, what's next? And just having
Yeah.
faith in what's coming.
I talk with a lot of my friends and especially dancers when it comes to like exactly what you're saying. What happens when we stop chasing, and what happens when when you need to stop and just look around, and you start learning things about yourself that you never thought you had to deal with, and
Yeah.
so on. What has been like one of your biggest learning moments 2020?
Um, hmm. To let go, learning how to let go of things. Sometimes you need to just let go of different things. Like there is things you can control, and it just happen, and you just have to go with it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, I
the
think
biggest
that
thing.
also 2020 taught us to know that we're not in control at all.
Yeah, and just trying to trust trust myself better, like um more self-esteem, like making sure that I don't need people validation to like move. So yeah.
Yeah, and that is so interesting. Like, I actually don't remember how many years ago it was since we saw each other in Sweden. But,
Yeah.
you know, from the outside looking in, you really seem to be a person that has like followed your heart and just gone wherever you want to go. Like, you have, I don't even want to, like, I don't even know where to start on your record career wise. But it's interesting that you're saying that still, even though, you know, we can look on a person from the outside, there's still that insecurities within to get people's
Mhm.
approval, even though you have come so far within your career.
Yeah, and I think it's been still especially with social media. I think it got worse, especially with COVID, because we were at home and like spiraling with social media and like having this thing consciously getting you. And I feel like for me, being able to travel was a big part of my career, because to me, traveling, it was really giving me that feeling of being unstoppable, and always being hungry to meet new people and to meet new cultures, and to dance with different people and having a new experience on my, on my path. And once this is gone, you're like, whoa, okay, I need to reset and see what's next. And yeah, I mean, we all go through the insecurity. That I think even having worked with people or having done like jobs or stuff like that doesn't really define who you are really, because this prove it. Like once it's gone, who are you? What are you? What do you know? What's what you know?
This is,
That so that's yeah.
yeah, yeah, but this is gold. You know what I mean? Like, this is really maybe a stop that we would never have if this
Hmm.
wouldn't have happened. I mean,
Yeah.
you have traveled to 50 plus countries. You've been dancing, choreographing, battling. Has this year kind of made you reflect backwards and like look at what you've been proud of so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. It's like it's more when I look on my phone, like, or when I look on YouTube, like stuff that I've been able to accomplish. But what is like, for example, like battling, there is no battles no more. So this is kind of gone. Or which I don't really want to do battles no more, but uh, my class at Millennium that was doing great, gone. Is so it made me realize that certain things that at that time we thought were everything can just like in a second just disappear. So then you see what stays. And I'm happy to say that my friends are here, that my crew is still in, stronger than ever. That my family is still supporting, and yeah, I think that my health is good, and this stays, and the rest is gone. So I mean, meaning it can come back, but showing that it's not such a sure value. So we cannot. I mean, I cannot um, rely on that. Those are not things that we can rely on. Even as a dancer, when you think like it used to be auditions, it used to be all this, now it's gone,
Hmm.
and everything shifts. So how are you going to shift according to that?
Yeah. What has been like some of the surprising things that, you know, you have experienced about yourself, whether it's dance related or not? Like, having so much time now to do other things than auditions and jobs. Have you discovered something new about yourself that you never knew before?
Um, I haven't discovered a new talent yet, and that's been a stress for me, because it was like I feel like everyone was, especially in America, people are so like hustle oriented, that they can, okay, I'm going to do that, I'm going to create that, and me was like, there is nothing that passionate me as much. But I've been happy that I've been still like consistent with just still creating some certain, visuals, and especially with my group, and teaching online, or doing different things. um and trying to, as much as possible, living my life as if there is no COVID, as if there is no restrictions. um like still being able to do some gigs here and there, but it's definitely for me time to like figure out what's next, figure out the next step. Outside of I think sometimes we make COVID an excuse. um like it depends of course on the situation, but it could be an excuse like, oh, I cannot work, there is COVID. But deep down it's an excuse, because you can see that all those like dance job or auditions or classes, once something bigger than everyone hits, it's gone. So we need to figure out our bigger self.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's weird, but I never planted a lot before. But now it's like my entire house is like overgrowing me because I just keep on planting. And my boyfriend is like, okay, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. There's too many plants. But I find it also reassuring somehow, that like as you say, when things disappear, there will always be something going on, and which ones are your real friends because
Mhm.
they're still
Yeah.
going to be on that phone call, and you have to video talk more and do all that.
Yeah. Hmm.
um how have you had any routines like physically or mentally that has been super important for you more now than ever?
I mean, at first I was really like making a list of everything I have to do every day, like stretch, workout, I had the checkpoint thing that I was doing every day. Um, and then somehow, like I did that for a month and a half, and then it felt like I stopped, because I felt like I couldn't live my life no more. It feels like it was taking a lot of time, but somehow I mean, I saw some improvement, but I think the improvement had to be more mental. Like, so now I'm studying about like, meditation. Like, I think like the whole world, and like I'm talking right now, it's a luxury. It's a luxury that I have to be able to think about, the mental health, and like, um how do you say, um like a meditation, breathing stuff, and workout. It's like there's some people right now that they just have to answer the first need, which is money. And I'm not saying I'm balling, but I was able to like make some savings, and um still kind of finding jobs every month. So I've been lucky, and I've been very grateful for that, because I have the luxury of working on myself. And I know, unfortunately, and my big thoughts go to these people that have huge struggles right now, like people losing their business like overnight, and having big families and having to feed everyone, like this is for artists, like for artists that are able to work on themselves, like take treating this as a luxury.
Hmm. Yeah. No, but for sure. It's also, I think that it makes people start appreciating, the simplest things, as like, oh, I still have a home,
Mhm.
I might even have this beautiful weather, and yeah, you start feeling super privileged about the smallest things.
Mhm.
I can
Yeah.
also imagine, your family's from France. It's been
Mhm.
quite some serious lockdowns where they haven't been
Yeah.
able to go more than like 2 kilometers
Yeah.
around the house, and
Yeah.
everything. But you said you were in France for a while, like.
Yeah, I was there like for the holidays, so that's where I'm very lucky too, is that I'm able to go to America and come back. And I know it's hard for some people right now to even do that. Like a lot of my friends here in LA are stuck. They haven't seen their family for a moment now. So I was really happy I was able to go. Um, but it's just it was confusing, because I was like, should I go back to LA? Should I stay here? And now my parents have COVID. So I'm like, oh, I just came back, and I mean, it's going to be okay. It's just,
Mm.
it's always confusing, even like where to be now,
Yeah.
So,
Before COVID hit, like I would love to just get a glimpse on where you were in life. it can be whatever, but like physically, some dancers have said like, I was exhausted, and before COVID hit, like I was just going and going and going, not knowing when to stop. Where were you in life before, when 2020 started, nobody knew anything? And how has it been any positive benefits for you getting that rest and recovery from a hectic lifestyle or anything like that?
I think unconsciously I was tired of traveling a little bit. Like I think I did accumulate some like jet lag, and stuff like that. So for sure, it was honestly harsh because I thought, like, I think I was on the right path to have a good year with like a lot of projects and contract and stuff like that. Um, so somehow everything got canceled. So honestly, no, it hasn't been too good on that point. But and in America it's hard because they don't give a lot of financial resources. But somehow the good point is that I would have had to face that moment no matter what, because even if I had like few contracts coming, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So it's been more like, oh, now I have to face myself for real. And who am I and what am I good at, and really like doubting, starting really doubting. um but you can go there, it's like, who are you outside of doing gigs and judging a battle, and how is your dance? Do you train when you don't have opportunities and gigs? Do you generally love dance? Do you did you think of the what you're going to do after dance? And all these questions started hitting. um yeah.
Yeah,
So
because
yeah.
if we're backtracking a little bit, like you got in as a, was it on a dance visa or as a student at a university in
I
the States?
went as a student, and then after that I got kicked out because my visa expired. And then I stayed in France, and then I went to Mexico for a year. I went to school. Then while I was there, in the meantime, I did my artist visa. And then from that I came back to the US, and then after that I got my green card. after
Mm,
after I prepared my green card when I was in Sweden.
mm. Wow.
So yeah.
How did it change you? Because like I remember you as being, a fierce European popping dancer, and then which I saw was more into a battle culture. And
Mhm.
then once I start seeing you going to the States, there was a lot of other things starting to happening. Like how
Mhm.
did it change your path to go and live in another country?
Well, I think it's because of what inspired me when I studied dancing were not battles. What inspired me were music videos and movies and stage, I mean, tours, and more like commercial stuff. Even though I've always been inspired by certain dancers in battles and stuff, but I was like, well, the visual and that side also has my interest. And battling is cool, but it's still in the sport mentality. It's not in an art mentality. It's like, who is the best? And it's good because I love battles. The reason why I would still love battling, because it brings a fuel out of me. And I don't know, it brings me that adrenaline. I love the feeling of the lights, the DJ, the host, the opponent, the friends, the moment. And I think it's the only time for a dancer that you can be uh, really with yourself, your instinct, and your improvised skills. And that's very unique. You don't have that when you perform a piece on the stage. I mean, you can also, but that pure moment of like that rawness is really bring the best of yourself. So that's why I always love to do battles. And but after that I was like, okay, but what's more than that, and um yeah. So I've been happy to like go back to LA and experience different things, and every job is different. um And I love when I see students put in a high standard as much as other dance styles. I love that. I think, street dance come. It's been created in America. You go in each city in this country. There is different steps. There is different move created out of oppression, created out of people like really struggling for real, like, and you can see people like passion here, and that really inspired me. So when you see that and you're like, hey, but that's actually American culture. Like I hate when I go to France and people be like, oh, but America, there is no culture. Well, yes, there is street dance culture, there's a hip-hop culture, there is voguing ballroom culture, there is, it's huge part of American culture. And I love when I see that put in a high standard, like you know put in given qualities to it. So if I can advocate for that, I'm down.
The cool thing with you, Marie, is like that you have worked with so many different types of gigs. You've been performing with Madonna, Justin Bieber, Timberlake, Busta Rhymes. You have also been in TV shows like So You Think You Can Dance, America's Best Dance Crew, but you also been doing commercial gigs. You've been doing theater performances. Like, I feel like your spectrum of your dance have really taken you to different places. But what is your favorite? Like, do you like to work mostly as like a background dancer or in theater pieces where you're choreographing yourself, or where does your feeling and your passion come in the most?
I think it's creating my own thing and putting it on a stage. I mean, I like theater because you have time to express yourself. You're not rushed by a visual surrounding. Like everything is about the visual. So that's why it goes back to the battle, because battles is like, as a spectator, when you watch a battle, you cannot. It doesn't read it doesn't read on camera. It's like when you're there, when you feel people energy, that's what you crave. It's like you don't know where they go at that moment on the beat. So it's a kind of the same feeling with theater. um but I would say now I really want to choreograph more. And if it happens, it's cool. If not, it's okay. But it would be great. It could be like the evolution of it, like put my movement on people, and this would be great.
Yeah.
So
As a choreographer, as even maybe a director in the future for like
yeah,
theater
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's still scary to me. It's like, how am I gonna make it that happen? But I didn't know how I would make dance happen. So, but I miss, and that's why sometimes I want to tell people that are younger, enjoy having this like I don't give a fuck feeling. Because when you get older, sometimes it's like, okay, now I'm older, and you have the pressure of like, what am I gonna do now? But when I started, I really didn't care. It was like I was just going. I never questioned anything. So you would tell me to go to this little battle in Norway in a lost city, I would have gone. You know it.
And you did.
I would take a 6-hour bus and just go, and yeah.
Yeah. No, but I think that is, sometimes it's maybe easier for people outwards. Like if you would say you become a theater director, I think that nobody would question that. But it's
Mhm.
like to say that yourself can be way more scarier because, once in the beginning of a career, everything is just a plus. Do I win?
Mhm.
It's a plus. Do I
Mhm.
do I go to this country? It's just a plus. But once you have
Mhm.
probably reached a certain degree of like quality and stuff, you start putting more pressure on like beating
Mhm.
your own records and making it even
Yeah.
bigger.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
What I think is so cool is that you're not always alone. You're also with Femme Fatale. Fatale.
Yay.
How did this start? Like, how did this, you know, global little dance crew of three women, dope ass powerhouse of women start? And, where has it taken you? To which places have it been taking you?
Um, I mean, it started. It never been something official. Like, hey, I want to make a crew and of girls. Like, never, never. It's like, I knew Lily for a while. We were friends. She was always down to, like, every time I wanted to like create something, she was down to be in it. Um, and I really saw her growth. Like, she's an amazing dancer and she can do every style and she's incredible. And then I met Dasi later on, and it started with Sweden when we went to Sweden, when Surgeon invited us, and then for that we made a piece, and then with that piece we won, and then we performed this piece in LA that went super viral, and then from that we're like, hey, we need to keep going, and then we did another show here, and then it went well, and then it was a good vibe, and then we were on the same page, like really hardworking. um we both have the same we all have the same profile where we love popping, we love whacking, we love different styles, but also we love to battle, but we also love to try the commercial stuff. um we love fashion, we love makeup, we love, we like to look good dancing and stuff like that. um and we like to put this dance in other environments. But above all, we want to be good dancers. Generally being good dancers on top of trying to make something famous.
Yeah.
Like, I know us three, we have a responsibility that we get called out at any time. We need to be able to, to keep a certain level, and that's motivating each other. We're motivating each other.
Did you ever think you were gonna stand on like Cirque du Soleil or Red Bull with this little crew?
To be honest with you, I was actually picturing bigger still. So I'm still we're letting it happen. But
Yeah.
as much as I need to like trust myself more for my personal project for Femme Fatale, I'm like, I trust it so much. I trust it so much, because I think we've built strong foundation, not as dancing, but as people. We trust each other. We're here for each other, and I think that's important. Like, I can tell that they're gonna be in my circle when we're gonna be 80 years old, and even if we maybe don't dance together, or if there is a strong mindset as a group.
Yeah.
Before we go back into this episode, I want to take the time to shout out this episode's sponsors, Be Fit and Sensual. I have been working with Be Fit and Sensual's Dancers Bootcamp online program for a while now, and I know from first-hand experience that it works. So what is Be Fit and Sensual except worldwide coaching individually one by one? Well, it's also Dancers Bootcamp online. Now, listen up to this. Dancers Bootcamp Online is the #1 world platform for us dancers who want to train dance specific with easy follow-along videos. Not only do you have tons of workout videos inside Dancers Bootcamp Online, but you also become a part of this global movement and community with like-minded dancers whose goal is to become better each and every day. Not only do you have weekly updated schedules for the ones who want help to build their own workout routine, you also have 2 full 30-day challenges with dance-specific workouts only. Then you have different sections focused on different parts of the body. Let me tell you some examples. You have the abdominal section, Bachata booty section, nutrition guidance, dancer's mastermind if you really want to get into master your own mind, and also stretching for dancers, flexibility, knee rehab for dancers, and kettlebell flow for dancers. On top of all this, you also have weekly webinars and live workouts with Coach Sebastian, and you get a free coaching call with the team whenever you feel like you need it. Listen, I would never promote this if I hadn't tried it myself. I tell you, throughout Corona, this has been a lifesaver for me as a dancer when I couldn't go to classes or anything else. And I truly support the dance-specific training that Sebastian and the team of Be Fit and Sensual are doing. So if this sounds good to you, it's getting even better because we have our own promo code When you are writing in a live story in one word, ALIVE story in one word, you now get 25% discount on the monthly membership as long as you stay. You can cancel whenever you want and there's no startup fee or hidden costs. So, if you have any other questions about training or nutrition, never hesitate to reach out to Sebastian at his social media for personal guidance. By dancers, for dancers.
What are some of the like dreams or visions that you would love to do with this crew?
I don't know if I should say. I'm superstitious.
No, we don't want to jinx it, but it's just like, have you guys, maybe you already have had like boot camps?
Well, right now
where-
we have a group of 20 girls that we train every week. They're already amazing dancers themselves. They're already professional dancers, but we were happy to share with them the art, especially the art of popping. And now if we didn't know it would keep going so long, but we train once a week in the park now, and they just down. And it's dope because I feel like when I see everybody, it reminds me of us three when we started. We were like, we down no matter what, let's go. So I don't know, actually. I don't know. Yeah, boot camp would be great. Like, I would love for us to travel again and teach it overseas, and having our own theater piece would be amazing. So if anyone out there wants to produce us, we down. A whole theater show, a movie, a lot. A lot we could do.
Yeah, but I think that things are moving. I saw that now I'm jumping into voguing, but I saw that there was like an HBO huge
Oh yeah,
series about ballroom, and I'm like,
yeah,
whoa, when
yeah.
did this happen?
Legendary. Yeah. They shot it. My friend, because my voguing mother is Dolores Ninja, and she taught me a lot about voguing. And her house was in the show, and it looks amazing.
And that's what gives me hope, if even
Yeah,
voguing that has been so
yeah.
like underground for a
Mm-hmm.
long time, and where
Mm-hmm.
they like a lot of venues maybe haven't understood what ballroom is,
Mm-hmm.
that also makes me have hope.
Yeah.
So like when you guys say that you want to be on TV to make a movie or all of that, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
if the Sean Weasley can stand there being host on HBO, I'm like, yes, we can all reach there. Yeah. And also you're already creating your co-dancers in this little girl group as well. Like for your theater piece, you're having already 20 girls who's gonna be down for it. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be easy. Easy.
Yeah. Hopefully.
All right. Well, I also want to talk about the highlight the style.
Yes. So this is an event that I created with Yaya Vankova. We created that in when was that? It was in 2019, and we were talking about voguing. Actually, we were like, she was asking me how the category worked, and I was telling her, okay, this is all way, this is Vogue Femme, this is and performance. I mean, I'm still new in it too, but I like to share whatever the few things I know. And she told me, she was like, how about, would you be down to organize an event like that per style, like it is in voguing, for example, like that would showcase uh, waving, popping, animation, robot, to show that they're all distinct styles, and not to like separate dancers, but just to like highlight each of them. Because sometimes you go to a popping battle and you have someone who has amazing tutting but doesn't pass the round because it's doesn't completely fall into the category. So there were exhibition battles. So we invited the best of the best for each style and we made team, and then they had to battle against each other. There were no winners, but that was like, it was good because there were no judges, so it was fun to see like people giving their best, because we really, and I was so happy that we had the best of the best, um Like everybody was down. Everybody was down, and it just showed the power of a community, and it shows that it was a need here. It had a need. I could tell that certain dancers couldn't express themselves fully in all styles battle or in a popping battle, and I think it gave some freedom to certain dancers that really like master their skills in a specific style. And we had also OGs coming, uh, so that was dope. That was just dope. That was a celebration of dance. And me and Yaya have, I think, for organizers, like having the good connection with the organizers is the foundation of it. If we were on the same page, we're like, hey, we just want to do that just to see how it would look, if it would work. And then we were supposed to do the next one this year, um, but we did the battles online. I'll be honest with, I mean, I'm not too passionate about organizing battles online, but we are like, we're gonna keep having other projects until we can come back to a live event. So yeah.
Yeah. Is the idea to like move it to Europe and Asia as well, and have
That would
different
be
editions?
amazing. Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be amazing for sure. That was, yeah, we thought, we didn't think about that at first when we did it, but because we saw a great response, then we were like, hey, we need to do it everywhere in the world.
Yeah, because you were talking about the need, and I definitely feel like, I can only speak for Europe, but I feel like there's a need of showing that
Yeah.
popping is just,
And it's also it
no.
was hard because then we did pre-selection, right? So we were like, okay, now we're going to organize prelims with official battle with official judges. But this became very controversial because in certain style, like if you have robot versus between robot and animation, to me it's clear the difference, but for some people, no, it's not clear. So it kind of also redefine what was what. And it's also, it's um, judges also have their own opinion on the style, so it actually dig deeper into the knowledge
Mm.
of each of them. So I love when it's a format of exhibition better than when it's an official battle, because it's always this thing about winning, and sometimes I'm tired of it. You can, especially nowadays, I mean, I like the battle, like, okay, you try to do better than someone else, like to surpass yourself and see where's your skill at, but basing everything off of the winning, I don't like that. I like the people like trying to surpass themselves, but also for themselves, especially because now everything is on tape. So your video is going to end up online and going viral or not. You want to bring the best without having to try to please a judge. So yeah.
Yeah, but
So we talk with Yaya, and I know we're on the same page on that, to where we really want to keep that essence, and also that sharing energy.
yeah, for sure. No, I think it's a dope concept. And I was like surprised when I saw like, okay, it's not just, popping, it's tutting, animation, and robot. Like I would have loved to see, that live, to really feel the differences, because
Mm-hmm.
most of the times there is just a blend and mix of everything in one
Mm-hmm.
solo, because
Yeah.
every popping dancer want to try to hit so many
Yeah.
elements.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. I think it's so cool. So what did you learn from being an organizer?
Ooh, good question. I learned that you have to delegate, and I learned that yeah, you cannot do everything yourself. You have to trust the process. I think I love being with Yaya because she doesn't care. Me, I get a little bit nervous closer to the event. I was like, oh, is it gonna be great? How is it gonna be? And she's like, oh, that's fine. And we really thought no one would come, so we actually were more over capacity. So um, yeah, it's finding a yin yang situation with the people you work with. Being organized with money, being clear. um this was not hard. Like, I'm very organized person when it comes to paperwork and stuff. It's just it's sometimes it taught me how to just do it instead of waiting. Just
Mm.
like go for it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's completely different, right? And sometimes that control, behavior of like, I want to check everything. You
Mhm.
will, at some point, you will not be able to check everything. You're going to
Yeah,
have, as you say, to trust and outsource and
yeah,
just let other people do their job.
yeah. And there is like certain things I didn't think of, like if it's gonna be hot, it was hot, it was as hell. Like, and then little things like the insurance. I don't even think we got an insurance. And then, it was random, but like some windows were open. And I kept seeing people jumping from that little stage for the DJ to the floor, passing that window where they really could hit each other. And I'm like, if someone get hit, how are we gonna do? And like it's in the middle of the event, and you're thinking about insurance stuff. And that's where you learn. That's where you're like, damn, this were like basic steps. um, but yeah, you learn.
No, I think it's so cool that you stepped into that. Have you organized a lot of other things too, or was this kind of your first big event?
First one, yeah, that was the first one. I did one when I was young at my city in France a long time ago, like ages ago, and it went really good. That was one of the first stand-up battle back in France in my city, because it was mostly breaking at that time. And then I left to America, and I hated it at that time. I was too young. I hated it. I was too stressed, but it ended up great. But I was like, no, if I cannot be an organizer again, because I'm gonna lose my mental health. And then when I did this one, because it was so fun, that now I'm like, okay, I want to do it again. That was fun.
Yeah.
I think as long as the intention is good, then it's gonna be good.
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
so cool. We can't wait to see what you're doing more in the
Yeah.
future with events. I think it was so cool when you said like, I see myself being 80 years old dancing with my girls still. Do you have like what do you do right now in your life to make sure that you can keep on dancing when you're older? Like do you have any certain physical routines? You're going to the gym, you
Yeah.
go follow a diet, or what do you
I'm
do?
not I'm not really like extreme in anything, but since a young age I've been always like taking like working out. I like to jog. I like to not necessarily to get fit, but to be like having my mind straight. I have like amazing parents that really educated me on sport and eating good. I think it's just a respect you give to your body, and that you give back to people also when you meet them, by just like respecting your body pretty much. And I like to discover new things about essential oil, about natural treatment. Like I don't take pills at the counter anymore. Like I'm really trying to find more natural medicine, like natural way of treating myself, and figure out what works, what doesn't work for me.
Mm,
I don't like to talk to people about it too much, because I think it's also a personal research.
yeah.
Because if someone come to me and tell me, oh, you need to eat that and this way, and it feels really judgmental. And I like to just go with the flow and asking random question to people. Um, right now I'm doing a water fast. It's been second day, so 48 hours just water.
Wow.
It's good.
Cool.
It's very good, because it cleans it brings your relationship to food again, you know and that you don't have to depend even on food. I mean, at a certain point, yeah. But the craving and all. But yeah. So what else? Yeah, just trying to do the minimum that's gonna keep me in shape without being obsessed with it. Like
Yeah.
being obsessed with the gym is not. But like sometimes.
Yeah, because I mean, you're dancing some dance styles that are very harsh on some joints. Like I've seen a lot of videos of you going in like a W with your knees turning
Oh, I
inwards. And
don't do those ones no more. That's why I just do the robot.
have you had a lot of injuries, or like have you
Yeah, I mean,
overcome?
no, that's the one that's I've been very depressed at the end of 2020, like very depressed, because I was at a Vogue ball and someone fell on my foot, like drastically, and then I had 3 ligaments that got torn. So I thought those injury would take me 2 weeks, and I'm still healing from it.
Mm.
So yeah, it took a long time. Like the first month, it was hell. It was really hell. Like I thought it would leave, and then I would try to walk again on it, and then suddenly it hurts again. And then the first 2 weeks were going up. Then I heard it again. Then I had to wait again. It kept. Oh my god! It took so long, and I was like, it's never gonna. I was trying to work out a little bit, but somehow you cannot always like involve your foot. So I was doing collabs with people on chairs, like sitting down.
I've seen them. They look fierce, but I'm sad that you were in pain.
Yeah, it took a while. I don't understand why that injury took so long. Like I was like, really, I think it's the older you get, the injury take longer to recover. So it was a lesson because I couldn't do much. But that's the only one I had. Now I can dance. Now I'm better. I cannot run yet, but it's almost there. So
Yeah. And like with the depression, like how did you mentally, stay
well, that's the thing is
forward?
like usually it's like working out or like jogging is like, well, helps me. Well, it's just at first I don't know, it sucks because you let it come to you and you spiral. And I think it's just about, having your friends around, staying motivated and knowing that you're grateful no matter what. Like I said earlier, like I think I've been ungrateful when I was like that because yes, it was an injury, but it was not the end of the world. My health was fine. My family was fine. People are dying from COVID right now. So, I made it all about me and like my issue and it's sad but looking bigger picture, it was just a temporary moment.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. No, but sometimes I just think that a lot of dancers, including myself, like I never thought that I needed a coach or anything. But
mm,
now when I have tried to have one, I'm like, oh yeah, like I wish I
yeah.
had that all the time because,
Yeah.
just to have someone that also pushes you and can just like
Mhm.
make you snap out of it, it's just
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
important. And a lot of other athletes have like 12 coaches, and here
I know,
dancers
right?
are, and we're like, no, we're gonna make it on our own.
Yeah, I think it's something about, especially in dance, that we can all do it ourselves.
Yeah.
You know? Yes, we can, but there is ways to like lower the weight, uh, if I say well,
Yeah.
on us, on our
Yeah.
shoulders.
For sure, for sure. Well, after I got an accountant, that was just one thing. Getting a coach was another thing. There's so many
Hmm.
ways. There's so many ways.
Yeah, so many ways.
So I know it's very hard to like maybe picture this pandemic being over, but what are some of like the biggest, wishes you have for this coming year or things that you would love to do?
For this coming year,
Yeah, or yeah, 2021 now.
I mean, there is some project, but like I said, I'm scared to talk about it if it doesn't happen. I would love to work more with models and teach them how to pop.
Nice.
Like having more of that style in the fashion world. I would
Mm.
love to partner with big brands and give them my creative ideas and build up and make. Sometimes I know it's deep, but I always think of people who taught me dance and people who put the work before me, and I want to make them proud. I really want to make them proud, because when you dance, yeah, you are a little bit a mimic of people who put the work before you, because you learn foundation, you learn something that people created before you. You're mimic, but at the same time yourself, you find yourself through it because it's something that touched your soul. So with that, I really want to, when I perform, like having that fire and making people, making myself proud and making people who put so much time and dedication in the generation before proud,
Yeah,
like as an evolution of it.
exactly. Just to keep moving it forward and make it
Yeah,
take new shapes. And
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
beautiful. All right. Well, I am super grateful for your time. In the end of my interviews, I always do something called fill in the blanks, where I start
Okay.
a sentence and you
Mhm.
finish the sentence with one word or a couple of words. Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you do or say, it's Marie Poppins, no judgment. You say whatever you want. Okay.
Okay.
All right. A great dancer for me, always.
A great dancer for me always love.
Hmm. Love, love, nice, nice. My way of being unfuckable with is
um, tenacity.
nice. All right. When people think of me, I want them to think about.
Passion.
When I am a teacher, I always try to give my students.
uh, I don't know. I'm I'm thinking too much. Um, uh, tools, keys.
Nice, nice. Um, what person has made a huge impact on your life?
There's many. Uh, I would say my dad. Thinking maybe a few years back I wouldn't have seen my dad, but he's into soccer, and I mean he made a living out of his passion this whole life. There's been like difficult moments, but even now I still see him. He's like, damn, I'm lucky. I do what I love. I was like, yes. So yeah.
Nice, nice. What is one of your proudest dance moments?
Being the first French dancer on So You Think You Can Dance and dancing on my favorite song, Sade. So yeah, being able to dance on something not necessarily commercial at that time. So making it happen was, I know I was breaking I was happy to like change a little bit the norm of what you're supposed to see popping on, or yeah.
Yeah. Wow, legendary moment. So cool. What is the scariest yes you have ever said?
The scariest, yes, my green card, because it was 10 grand and it's not guaranteed you get it. So
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of Americans that don't know this,
yeah, you pay $10,000 to be allowed to work.
to say a maybe.
Yeah. If you don't get it, you lose. It's a fucking lottery. So yeah, I was scared to say yes. I was ooh.
Yeah. What is the biggest no you have ever said?
Like the hardest no. I don't say no a lot. I should have said no more sometimes. My biggest no. Ah shit. Let me think.
No worries.
I don't have one.
Well,
What is your biggest no? Wait. It's not coming. I think I don't say no a lot.
I can rephrase the question. Sometimes we have patterns that used to serve us and that no longer serves us, and we gotta let go. What is one of those patterns?
Maybe battling less. No, maybe no. Okay. No, I know. For all the time I stopped working for free.
Oh.
because I used to do stuff for free when I moved to LA, because you need a visa, you need a green card, and you need proof. So you try to do it for free. So you get in exchange a letter or a recommendation or something, or you do jobs for free because you think you're going to get exposure. Or so, I mean, I would still do maybe something for free if I know that there is something behind that is guaranteed, or like really is going in alignment with my where I'm trying to go with my goals. If not, no, no more, finish, over.
Yeah, because that's also the dark side of, like, you know, getting forward in a new country or in a new
Mm-hmm.
industry is a lot of people don't understand what it takes, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I love to hearing these stories, because I think it's important that people don't glorify too much
I
of like
mean,
how easy it is as well.
think about it. Like now, we think dancers are not like something like very important. It's not the priority. But now, if you try to look something, it's been COVID now, right? And you cannot have a lot of dancers on stage. For example, the artist has to perform alone. It's boring. Not all the time, but you see the difference finally. You see how much you miss going to a concert and how fire it is because there is like performers around the artist. So, or you go to a theater show and it's all your entertainment. You watch a music video. If there is no dancers no more, if there is no, it's important. So
Yeah, the world needs to listen up, man. It's not paying. All right. Let me take this one. What is one thing that you have missed most with being in quarantine?
travel. Ooh. Traveling and see new people, meet old friends, being free, that freedom. I miss this. I miss going to the clubs.
What is a club again?
Just having like, going not even to like bougie clubs, but where I used to have my friends DJing and going and dancing. And I
Like,
miss that. I
I
miss yeah, I miss going to sessions. I miss all that. I don't miss dance classes because I think dance classes were kind of toxic sometimes in LA, like trying to always be in the front. And it's kind of good that it's slowed down.
yeah, I can't wait for that first party. Like, I
Yeah,
don't think that we're gonna be able to handle it. We're just gonna run around hugging,
yeah.
touching each other way too much, and like, oh my gosh, is this humans?
For
Okay.
real.
Yeah. All right. Last one. If you could create a law that everyone in the world had to follow, which law would it be?
A law? Oh, I don't know. Stay away from ignorant people that thinks they know it all.
Law. We buy it.
That's a law.
That's it.
Maybe the world would be better.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Marie. In the end of my interviews, I always give the mic to my guest. Is there anywhere where you want people to find you, follow your crew? Is there anyone you want to love bomb? Whatever you want to say, the mic is yours.
Well, thank you to the people who support me, to the fans that always like show loves on Instagram and on social media. That means a lot, uh, to see when people follow you for a long time and believe in you. That makes you keep going. And my crew, of course, if I could marry them, I would. To Dassy and Lily, of course, Femme Fatale, and to my family for their support, to um, and to all the people who taught me this dance, to all the OGs who took the time to teach me, and yeah. That's it.
So dope. Again, like you're such an amazing inspiration for a lot of people. And, we can't wait to see more what you're going to do. And also, discovering who you are now as well after last year and everything. So
Yeah.
thank you so, so much for this interview.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And shout out to Sweden, to Gothenburg.
Don't forget to click subscribe, comment below, and give us a rating or review. We have a Facebook page, YouTube page, and we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and all the other podcast platforms. We also have an Instagram, so don't forget to tag us in your favorite episode and share it with the world, because we read all of it.